Hi, we're here at the marvellous Barracks in the Cathedral Quarter, and I'm here today with Alison Campbell and Hilary McCollum, the writer and the director of The Pirates of Portrush, which is a TheatreofPluck production supported by the Arts Council of Northern Ireland. Alison, we are mid-rehearsals right now.
We're very close to the end of rehearsals.
Okay,
yes,
very close to the end.
We're getting to the crunchy end.
And could you tell us a bit about the production and what audiences are expected or should be excited about seeing?
Well, I think the thing that's really exciting about this work is that it's a take on the festive show, but it's the sort of show that you would have loved to have been able to go and see instead of the panto, which has a very queer heart, both aesthetically and in terms of its philosophy. So it's very much a story that's based in Northern Ireland. I think that's something that is very specific about it, because it brings in, you know, our religious circumstances and the particular relationship between our religious kind of ideas here and the way that has an impact on the LGBTQ community. And so what we have are, you know, genuinely queer heroes and heroines, and those things are merged and not really gender specific. And it's really funny. It's very funny. So I think what you get is local performers in a play that is set here, and actually is quite it's quite sophisticated in the way that it merges those traditional festive forms with queer philosophies and ideologies.
Hula waka, something not right. Many icky wicky things gonna happen.
Right, shut up, Hart.
No, I'll run you through the ugly maggot.
Shut up, or else it's blanket time. I'm gonna lock you in your cage.
So, you plot against me, you scurvy dog.
In the cage, or else it's blanket time. Come on. Come, Scarlett. John. Mr. Van Dyke.
And Hilary, you're the writer of this play, and in fact you actually received an Artist Career Enhancement Award from the Arts Council to write this play. Do you want to tell me a little about the journey from
and certainly if I hadn't had the ACES Award, we wouldn't have this play. You know, it's absolutely was what made this possible for me. I mean, kind of where it started, I was it was during the City of Culture, and I was down on the banks of the Foyle waiting for the battle between the Loch Ness Monster and Colm Killer. The battle that was going to be on the Foyle, and I was standing there looking out at the Foyle, and I was thinking, I would really like to write a play about pirates, because I have had a fascination with pirates, I think probably since I was very young. I mean, I remember the first time I saw Treasure Island, and before that I'd already read Treasure Island. And so, I had this kind of excitement about the idea of a play about pirates. But actually, when I started thinking about it, the person that first came to me, the character that first came to me, was Peter Pansy. And he's a Christian homophobe, a zealot, who I think in many ways is still linked to what that kind of religious issue that is here. I'd been doing a bit of work the year before on a play about the lives of LGBT people in Strabane and Siam Mills, and was very struck by how much their lives were still impacted by religion. And in particular, one young man I spoke to who'd been brought up in a fundamentalist Christian household, and how much hate he had for himself, how much he'd self-harmed as a teenager, how he'd been suicidal, and actually how even he'd been 10 years away from his family, how much still that self-hate was absolutely buried in him. And for me, I left in the 80s, and a big reason why I left was because I was a lesbian, and I felt I couldn't be a lesbian here. And then to come back, and you've got a very different LGBT community in many ways, a much more visible community. But I really was interested in what's that tension between that visibility and still this backdrop that we've got about Christian fundamentalism, and how much that still kind of impacts on the society we live in. And I guess I wanted to explore that through making people laugh, but also a little bit about maybe making them cry here and there too, and actually think seriously about what does it mean for us to live with this backdrop.
It's a tale of villainy, skullduggery, kidnapping, betrayal. A quest far more important than mere gold or silver. The quest of a shipmate and her unborn child. This Christmas nativity will bring a tear to the most hardened eye, a quiver to the most hardened heart, and a lump to the most hardened throat. And it features one very special person. Me! Me! Anyway, if you're easily offended, then tough. So, okay.
And I mean, that's the really great thing about working on this piece for here and now, is that it isn't just the fun alternative. It is a fun alternative, but it actually really touches at the heart of, you know, real living conditions, and the way that people think about themselves and identify themselves living here. So you can come and, you know, I said we're a bit teary sometimes, you know, that has mostly been through laughter, but not entirely. And that is all there in it as well.
Well, that just leaves me then to encourage audiences throughout Northern Ireland to come and see the show. Preview this Thursday, opens this Friday, and there are various dates throughout December through to the 23rd of December. I know that people can buy tickets through the TheatreofPluck website.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Well,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Thank
Good
you
luck for the
so
show.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.